Hi guys, as usual I'm saying at the beginning that we will start with the links in the description and my test system setup details in the description, but this time we will start with a spoiler for those of you that are actually watching my IM reviews. That's the spoiler. You should know what it means soon. So, today we'll be talking about Tanchjim Luna, and I got the special AT version, which is basically the same as the regular one, except this one has a very nice, I don't know if these are CNC machined, but a very nice finish here with some pictures and some nice other things. So, about a year ago I was reviewing Tanchjim Space, this little guy. Yeah, and I got it off after reading some glowing reviews on web, including the Audio Science review one, and they were all right. It was, and it still is, an exceptional device. Nice. Now we have a successor to Space called Luna. Space was using twin Cirrus Logic CS43131 digital to analog converters, and this guy is using twin Cirrus Logic CS43198, which on paper are almost the same. 131 has a headphone amplifier built-in and output stage, while 198 is dedicated digital to analog converter chip. Now, we've already seen CS43198 in a couple of devices, at least I've seen it. One of them was SMSL PL100 CD player, and CS43198 gave excellent transparent sound there. And the other device was one of my desktop amplifiers that I'm using with my PC, and again CS43198 gave the very transparent, very clean and very detailed sound. So I'm pretty much interested in the capabilities of this little guy. So let's talk about that. This is a successor, and I have really high hopes for Luna, so let's talk some numbers first. Let's talk some price. The price is about $120. You can get it a little bit cheaper, for example on AliExpress, using some coupons during the sale and during seasonal sales, but the regular price is something like $120. And now let's talk about some spec numbers, and not only numbers. So the first interesting thing about that guy is that it's Class AB or Class H device. So the idea is that the Class H is using, how should I put that? It's able to adjust the voltage rail for the amplifier on the fly according to the output volume of the sound, meaning that if you have a quieter passages and you don't have to amplify them a lot, the amplifier inside will be using lower voltage to save energy. If you are having something very loud, if you're listening to something with, let's say, dynamic volume changes, the voltage rails for the amplifiers inside will go higher to provide more energy, to provide more voltage to power the amplifiers. So the theory says that the Class H amplifiers should be more energy efficient, but this should not affect the sound quality. In a way, in a very general way, it's a similar thing as Class D amplifiers, though Class D amplifiers work differently, but the idea is that you're not having a constant flow of the signal and the power. So this is the first amplifier that I have in my possession that allows for something like that, although there are available Class H amplifiers, fully sized stereo amplifiers for speakers. Not a lot of them, but the idea is not very new, and there is a couple of them on the market. So moving to some numbers, the frequency response is given as anything between 8 Hz to 80 kHz, so that's very nice. Should provide plenty of open bass and should provide plenty of treble extension. Dynamic range is given as 132.5 decibels. So that's amazing even for a full-size digital to analog converter for your regular stereo setup. That's for the balanced output. With the single-ended output, it falls down to 127 decibels. Signal to noise ratio is also in amazing range because it's specified as 132 decibels for the balanced output, and it also falls down to something like 127 for the single-ended output. Total harmonic distortion and noise are given as 0.000139%. So again, that's like wow. And now the power output. Tanchjim specifies Luna as capable of outputting 175 milliwatts per channel into 160 ohms, but it raises up to 285 milliwatts into 52 ohms. In the practical uses, I was able to drive my HiFi man planners with Tanchjim easily, although not to ear-deafening levels. Now, as for the digital to analog converter numbers, as I've said earlier, we have twin CS 43198, and they are able to deliver anything up to PCM to 52 bits and 768 kilohertz, and they are able to decode DSD up to DSD 256. Interestingly, there is one thing that I wanted to mention here, that Tanchjim uses non-linear and non-logarithmic volume control. The volume control diagram would look like that. So we have a quick rise in the beginning. In the middle, it rises slower, it's more flat, and then at the end it rises higher again. The idea is that in the most used volume range, you are able to more precisely set the volume that you need. Now, that's about the number selector. Let's talk about the build and let's talk about the application. So, as you can see, it's larger than Space. It's longer than Space because the size here is almost the same. The size here is almost the same. As you can see, it's also similar here, but it's longer. It doesn't have any kind of window and it's missing any kind of status light. And that's one of the things that I actually missed here, because I really like to know if my device is working or if it's dead. Tanchjim Space has a small diode over there, and you can actually see the frequency by changing the color of the LED. So it's not here, it's not a big thing, but as I've said, I like to have something like that, even the simplest indicator that the device is powered on. Now, it's CNC machined aluminum, so the build is excellent. We have rounded edges here, but those edges are square, and the thing is that it may be a risk for scratching your phone if you would be carrying this in the same pocket as your phone connected. Other than that, I really like the finish on the back plate or on the front plate or the other way around, because this may be as well the back plate. We have volume control buttons, so this is hardware volume control and it works very nicely. And we have two outputs. The first one is for the single-ended for traditional 3.5mm jacks, and the second one is for balanced 4.4mm jacks. And as usual, I always strongly advise you to use this one because you will have better dynamic, better blacker background and more small nuances when you're going balanced. And we obviously have a USB-C connector here. in a package with Tanchjim Luna in a small box like that. You will also get a nice quality short USB-C to C cable with gold-plated connectors. I really like the cable. And you will also have a USB-C to USB-A adapter for connecting Luna to your PC. So that's about the build. Now let's talk about the application. Yeah, let's connect it here. This is, by the way, Asano sword, a limited edition with the sword motifs. I don't think it differs in price from a regular one, and the functionality is basically the same, but the looks are slightly better. The regular version doesn't have this markings here or the picture in here. So let's connect that to my tablet. Give me a second to power it on. Yeah. Oh, by the way, and this is an important thing. This is, I don't know if it happened just a few days ago, but from now on, the Tanchjim application is placed in Google Play Store, so you no longer have to use the weird QR codes to get to some weird external place to download it manually as APK file and to install it on your own. You can just go to the Google Play Store, search for Tanchjim, and download and install the application. So let's connect that guy here. Yep. And allow it to access the device. And we can see that it actually discovered the device as Asano sword version, along with some pictures. And what do we have here? It doesn't have a regular DSP as, for example, Stargate had, or the cables for Tanchjim Origin and Force had, but we do have possibility to choose the class of the application, because we can switch to constant voltage for the amplifier rails, and we can choose class AB for that. In theory, the HB should sound a little better, because we do have a constant voltage for the amplifier. We do not have to follow the volume. But in my listening sessions, the class H was actually a little bit more transparent and open, and I'm not sure if I can explain that. I don't have any good reason for that. Now, we can set the gain. We can choose the gain from the low and high. I always use the high gain. We can choose the filter for the digital to analog converters, and I'm always using with all my digital to analog converters low latency fast filter, because it gives me most transparent sound. And we also have noise shaping here. We have digital resolution enhancement, and it does change the sound a little. The idea is that noise shaping should, in theory, make the resolution of the digital to analog converter higher. And I can confirm that the sound gets smoother in a way. But my personal preference lies with DRE disabled, as you can see. And that's the same thing I'm doing with Neutron Player, because Neutron Player is able to do noise shaping on the fly on the software level. So, as you can see, no equalizer and no DSP profiles, but I actually like that. I could use some equalizer here, but this is just a very simple configuration, mostly for the class of amplifier, the filter, and the gain level. So that's all about the application. Yep. Let's move away from that. Now, to summarize my thoughts on class AB versus class H, AB class makes Luna smooth just a little bit more, but H class interestingly seems to add some clarity and transparency. It's not a big difference, and it's a surprise, at least for me, as I like the H class setting more, and that's how I've set the Luna for all of my listening sessions for the full review. And let's start with that. As usual, let's start with the bass. The bass has absolutely great extension. It has all the rumble, if the headphones will allow for it, goes very deep, and it provides very clean and very detailed bass. It's very neutral. It's not dry, but it's not overly full either. It's just right. In a way, it's a similar bass to the Tanchjim Space. So, it's quite fast too. It has excellent control over all of my IMs and over all of my fully sized cans. Moving on to mid-range. The mid-range is very open, it's very clear with tons of detail, but it's not erring on the analytical side. Transparent would be the word defining mid-range with Luna. It has great timbre for vocals, very natural and very neutral. It doesn't add anything from its own, and the result is just what your headphones are bringing with them. So I would say that this is the highest possible price for the source. It shouldn't be bringing anything with it. It should be just be a clean amplification and the highest possible resolution, so you won't lose any information, any content from your tracks. Now moving on to treble. The treble is clear with great extension. It sounds very open and smooth. Again, it seems very natural. What I like here is that it's also airy and very transparent. Again, it doesn't add anything to what headphones are bringing to the table. If your headphones are airy and open, they will sound airy and open with Luna. If your headphones are, let's call them hazy or foggy, Tanchjim Luna won't miraculously make them transparent, but it's very, very neutral and clean. Let's talk about the detail. It has tons of detail, all coming from black, clear background. If your headphones are up for it, everything is there for you to discover, and all of that without any brightness or dryness in the sound. Moving to imaging and soundstage. Again, this area was highly dependent on the headphones I've used, but that's good, as this means that the Luna wasn't limiting anything. With open large cans, the scene was wide and airy. With all headphones, imaging was spot on, with excellent positions and instrument sizes. This usually comes with great detail, and these are connected somehow. The small nuances that are defining the size of the soundstage, the positioning of the instruments are important, and this little guy is very open and is very precise when it comes to the soundstage. So I really like this little guy. Let me say that again. I really like this little guy. So far, Tanchjim Space was one of my reference devices. If you've seen my review last year, it's basically an excellent device, and it still is because it's still being produced and sold. But the Luna supersedes Space with the clarity, with the resolution, and with a very good black background. So I really like this little guy, or maybe a girl, as it's called Luna. It seems that Tanchjim had obviously mastered Cirrus Logic chips, and their implementation are the best I've heard, easily rivaling and even beating Asahi Kasei and Saber digital to analog converters in this format. It's true that it's not only about the specification on paper, but mostly about actual engineering and design. It's even better than Space, and that one was, as I've said, my reference stuff so far for quite long. A year or over a year. Luna is clearer and it's more detailed and it's more dynamic. And that's all with energy efficient class H amplifier. Space remains excellent choice as it's cheaper, but Luna will take its Space as my reference gear. When I was doing my listening sessions actually, because it took a couple of days, one of the good signs as always that I really like the device and that it sounds great is the fact that I'm actually forgetting that I'm doing listening sessions for the review, and I'm just starting to listen to my collection of music for pleasure. And this one has a very high fun factor. Let's call it just the next 5 minutes factor. Because it was late in the night, I've been doing the review sessions for 3 days, and I knew I should go back to sleep, that I should be rested for the next day ahead, because as you know, I have a regular day job, and I'm doing all of these in my free time. So it was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and I was like, just the next one, just the next one, just the next track. And after that track, I was just, I should go downstairs and get some sleep, but maybe I'll try the next one. Maybe not the whole track, but let's just check the first half minute or something like that. And it was one after another, and I finished my listening sessions about 3 a.m. So that's the highest possible compliment. It sounds great. It sounds great. Sorry, it sounds great. It has all the necessary technicalities, and at the same time, most importantly, it's just fun to listen. So it goes with my highest recommendation, guys. If you're looking for a portable digital to analog converter, if you're looking for something small to use in your office, if you're looking for something small to use on the go, this is one of the better choices. The last time I was so enthusiastic about that kind of device was when I was reviewing Neutron digital to analog converter DAC V1, and this one is as good. I mean, it provides, maybe not on the technical level, but the fun it provides, the sheer joy of listening to your music is on the same level. So, thanks for watching. Again, this time with no spoilers. The links are in the video description. My test system setup details also in the video description. If you like that video, if it helped you in any way to decide whenever you should get one of those or not, you're more than welcome to buy me a beer. And I've just realized why I do have E1DA power DAC lying here. You may have noticed during the review that I've left the foil protectors on. I will cut those guys here, but I will leave them on because the printing or the CNC on this guy is really excellent. And the thing is that if you have a mirror-like finish on the metal, like I have on my power DAC, you may be able to see that it's slowly starting to get some scratches. Yeah, and I don't like that. So I will be leaving the screen, not the screen, but the protectors on. So again, thanks for watching. One parting thought here. It's actually a great time to be an audiophile because devices like that are lowering the barrier, the entry barrier, for anyone that would like to try the high quality sound. Because this costing $120 with the right headphones will provide you the sound quality of the full stereo system with speakers that would be costing thousands of dollars. Yes, the headphones do have their shortcomings, but this is at the moment, this is the simplest, the cheapest way to enter the hi-fi world. Just your headphone, just your phone, your mobile phone with streaming, small guy like that, and your headphones, be it IMs or fully sized cans, especially the planar devices or the dynamic devices from Tanchjim or planars from KZ. The overall price, I think you should be able to close with all the purchases in less than $400, maybe $350, and that would give you a really high quality setup. The quality of that setup would be something that I could only dream about 20 years ago. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll have a great, wonderful day with your music ahead of you. Stay tuned and see you next time. Bye guys.